This is called Living on $515,000 a year in Berkeley, California.
Wonderful here. I'm going to review a video which I think is kind of very interesting, if not important. Living on $515,000 a year in Berkeley, California. This is millennial money. Find it on YouTube, and don't forget to destroy that like button. I mean, I love videos like this. Let's get into this one. $515,000. Is this guy joking? I mean, that's crazy. That's really good money. Let's find out more.
I didn't like the thought of putting money aside that I couldn't touch. I wanted to be able to invest everything and have it be tangible. But through like the advice of my siblings and my CPA, I do contribute about $1,500 a month to my self-directed IRA, which...
First, right out of the gate, this guy is doing something very important, putting aside a portion of his income, $1,500 a month into his IRA. Genius. You have to do that. Now, maybe you don't have $1,500, but you have to take at least 10% of whatever you're making.
Okay, if you make $515,000 a year, he's not even doing that. Although I don't know what the limits are. I think this the SEP IRA has like higher limits, I think. But 10% of $515,000 is $50,000, right? $51,000. Divided that by 12. He's supposed to be putting $4,300. God damn it! According to his own advice, he's not putting anywhere near enough money aside into that. The fucking idiots. The limit this year was $58K. Well, he's supposed to be putting $51K. He's massively undershooting.
Into an IRA is a fantastic idea because you want it to start compounding at 6 to 8% a year. That's what the market's given.
Oh yeah, 6 to 8% a year. Okay. Let's go ahead and. Let's say that you listened, let's go look at the stock market. Let's go look at, I don't know. Let's just look at the S&P. I clicked the Dow, but I meant the S&P. Let's look at the S&P. All right, let's go. Let's take year to date. It's down negative 6.6%. All right, well, that's not good. What about a year? Okay, 1 year, we got 6.92%. That's pretty good. 3 years, 51. Holy fuck. 5 year, 90% gain. Holy moly, that's crazy. That's crazy, chat. That's crazy. All right, let's take the 3 year. If you bought right before, wow, the stock market has exploded, dude. This is not you're telling me. How's our GDP since 2019? The stock market is incredibly growing like fucking crazy. Okay. It's down? I guess we don't have 2021 yet. Okay, it's back up. But it's grown like what, 5%? The stock market has grown 50% at the same time the GDP grew by 5%? How does the stock market of an economy grow 50% when the underlying economy grows 5%? I mean, like, what? It seems like it may not be connected. It's almost like the whole system is set up to make stocks look good and fuck over the worker. Fed inflated a $2 trillion bubble to deny the recession we were due to before Rona even happened. Investor optimism pumping. I mean, Jesus. Government printed trillions. Yeah. Dr. Richard Wolff says the QE policy we've been doing since 2008 hasn't shown inflation until now because the inflation was in the stock market, which just increased wealth concentration. Holy fucking Christ.
People for 100 plus
years. He does a SEP, Obi-Wan, which is different. And that's what you're putting aside
for your nest egg when you turn 65. So this is really important. I like this guy already. I don't even know who he is yet, but smart.
My name is Sahil Mehta. I'm 25 years old.
Smart for massively underinvesting in his IRA.
$1,000 a year, and I live in Berkeley, California.
So what we have to find out is how is he making $515,000 a year? What is he doing for that? Whatever he's doing, I'd like some of that. So would you.
Landlord!
For Herman Chan at Golden Gate Sotheby's, and my day-to-day really can be largely unpredictable. I make a commission on every deal that we close, and fortunately, you know, the real estate market here in the San Francisco Bay Area has not.
Okay, now I know what he's doing. He's working for one of the most successful brokers in the world selling really high-end real estate, and because he's doing all the logistics, that broker takes a portion of the commission he makes, generally 1, 2, or 3%, on a 20, 30, 40, $50 million house and gives it to this guy. Now, there's not many jobs like that in the world. You have to be really, really good at executional skills. This kid...
You mean really, really, really connected and really, really nepotized? Get the fuck out of here. Kevin was on a show in Canada called Dragon's Den long before him, and another guy from that show has made the same show for the American market, you know, as Shark Tank.
It is going places. That's a lot of money to make in commissions. Very impressive. I'm really impressed.
It has not slowed down. It has only increased year over year since I've started. And a lot of it has to do with, you know, market timing.
Why is he wearing a puffy vest? He and his brother. Here we go.
His brother have almost $10 million invested in their own real estate. I mean, that's obviously they're probably doing renting it out or they're taking speculative bets, but I bet you there's leverage involved. And I don't know yet, but they've borrowed money to do that. It's really hard to make $9 million and have that as free equity. So they're borrowing money, and therein lies the risk.
They're
Born and raised.
Give me $10 million to buy real estate in one of the hottest markets in the world, and I'll look like a fucking genius. See, my work also does a SEP IRA. It's good for workers and owners because they get to take profits on tax, but they have to share those profits with employees. We got an average of 14% of my yearly salary for the last 4 years I've been eligible.
Maryland.
It's like a self-employment
My dad was
thing.
a practicing physician, and my mom was a business owner. My family sort of lost a lot of what they worked so hard to earn in the market crash of 2000 and 2008. And so at an early age, I learned the importance of managing money and managing risk.
You hear that? Managing money and managing risk.
2008. And so at an early age, I learned the importance of managing money and managing risk.
Yeah, his family was in the stock market when he was growing up, aka Silver Spoon.
That, managing money and managing risk. He lived through the downside of the crash.
He's 25! He's 25! What did he live through exactly? He was 11 years old in the 2008 crash. He was 3 in the 2000 crash. What did he live through? What are you talking about?
The business, it sounds like, very traumatic, very hard to work so hard and then lose it all. Now he has that fear and that understanding.
He was 11!
Of how the markets can giveth and they can taketh away too. And so he's become more conservative in his thinking about taking risk. Everybody should think that way. Just because everything's working right now doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. You have to have a nest egg. You have to have some cash set aside for when the bad times hit, and they always do.
I don't pay any rent right now. I live in a building that I own, and I try to keep it that way.
Okay, let's look at the monthly budget here. I mean, the majority of what he's doing is savings. That's way more than half, which is incredible. Most people can't even get near that. They're lucky to get to 20%. This guy is really focused on de-risking his life, and that's just remarkable. Discretionary, $300, that's okay. Travel, $460. Food, $700. You know what? This guy's eating well. Probably eating healthy stuff.
See, if you're poor and you came, hey, if you came to a monthly budget for a single 25-year-old of $700 a month, right? And you came to Mr. Wonderful with that, he would say you were a fucking disgusting piece of shit who is blowing all your money and you deserve to be homeless. When a little rich silver spoon kid does it, he's eating well. He's probably eating healthy. Also, $17.45 for transport and $460 for travel? Motherfucker, you live in a city. How are you spending that much on transport? How? 2.3 to 2.4K per month on travel. What? Bro, I remember 9/11, the 2008 crash, and I lived through this pandemic. I'm 25. My existence in America has often progressively gotten worse. You don't remember 9/11, dude. You don't remember 9/11. I'm sorry, you don't. If you're 25, shut up. I don't see tax, loan, and rent or insurance on that pile. Interesting, right? Interesting. No taxes. No.
Spending that much a month on food, you're eating well, which is important to avoid getting stressed out. He's saving $10,000, and in addition to that, he's putting $1,500 into an IRA. I mean, the guy's almost at 70% investing in himself. Really important.
Because he doesn't pay rent. Where's his medical? Where's medical insurance? Where's dental insurance? So no insurance, no rent, I was 8 during the 2008 crash. Remember my parents being sad and having less money and helped me make hate capitalism instead of becoming a fucking landlord? Yeah. But you don't say you experienced 2008. You were a child.
He's saving $10,000, and in addition to that, he's putting $1,500 into an IRA. I mean, the guy's almost at 70%.
So he owns the building he lives in
himself. Really important.
Where's the mortgage he's paying?
Very impressive.
Elon Musk, like to many, is like a pretty big role model to me. I ended up buying Tesla Model X. It was my dream car, and I just feel so fortunate to be able to buy it, but then also just use it.
Tesla Model X, probably one of the most expensive models Tesla will ever make. I have one too. I love it, but it ain't cheap. So this guy is really doing something interesting. He's trying to invest in the best of everything, which is something my mother taught me. It may sound crazy, but don't buy things you don't need. And when you do need something, get the best you can buy. It's the highest quality. It may last the longest. Same in clothing, same in cars. Very important. He's able to afford it.
At the end of last year, I found out that there was a way that I could buy the car and write off the entire amount if it weighed more than a certain amount. And so I...
What? He got a CPA to write off his personal vehicle from his taxes.
discovered that the Model X qualified. So there's definitely moments where I will splurge on, looking good and eating good because I have a membership at Equinox. Sometimes I don't make the best use out of it, and I know it looks that way, but I do try to go to the gym.
Okay, some new little nuggets there. Number one, he bought the car so he can capitalize or depreciate it and write it off. Very smart. That means you pay less tax. He's probably got some depreciation schedule. That means he takes a portion of the purchase price and applies that against his income and writes it off. Very smart. So he doesn't lease the car.
And he's a member of Equinox, which is a luxury
Why? Very important to work
gym.
out every day if you can, or at least make sure you do it a few times a week, and he is doing that. And he said he's eating well. Very smart.
So in other words, this guy just buys luxury shit, eats out, doesn't pay any taxes, doesn't pay rent. What is smart about this? He just has a lot of money coming in. That's a parasite.
Smart.
While attending my senior year at Berkeley High School, I discovered that there was an option to take concurrent enrollment for classes that transferred to UC Berkeley at a discounted rate or completely free. And so I aggressively took as many courses as I could to transfer. So graduating high school, I enrolled into Berkeley as a junior instead of a freshman.
Smart move. He found free courses. Sahil found that these by just looking. You always have to look for opportunities. You should be online looking for opportunities like this, but he took some of those classes for free that applied towards his college. And
he's only doing $1,500 a month in a SEP. I find it unlikely he's doing all that well and lowering his tax liability. This is what we like to call rich kid making money off of real estate market that's exploding. And he's able to do it because he was able to borrow a lot that you're not able to borrow. And then he was able to parasite from all of his tenants. That's all he's doing. It's not complicated. Literally anyone can do it.
You know why that's smart? It reduces the amount of money you have to invest because you're getting, the time you're there is less, so you have less college debt. Shrewd kid. Ooh.
My brother and I own 5 properties now in close proximity to Berkeley campus. We bought half of our portfolio last year, more than half of our portfolio just in 1 year. Doing all this while working as an executive
Deduct up to 100% of the purchase price of your fleet upgrades. Under new depreciation laws, your business may be able to deduct 100% of the purchase on an unlimited number of qualifying vehicles that will be using for business purposes. So he's basically saying his Tesla Model X is a business expense, and he's deducting the entire purchase price. He uses his Model X to sell real estate, chat.
And it does give me a little more enjoyment because of the control. I'm not told what to do or anything, and so part of that is definitely better.
Pretty cool. He partnered up with his brother to buy 5 properties. Basically what he's doing is
partnered up with his brother, aka got free money from family to buy property that he can then exploit. Absolute parasite. Serves no function in society at all.
Off the student housing market because everything is near Berkeley. Kids are coming in and out all the time and looking for a place to live. He's probably renting out these houses to multiple students at the same time. But, working with your brother is interesting because they grew up together. They trust each other. If you're going to get into business with a family member, you've got to know, blood is more important than money sometimes. But sometimes that can also be a headache. it's not a true business relationship. It's a family business relationship, and they have their own challenges. But it sounds like these guys are doing very well right now.
Sometimes I could wipe out entirely what I made in a month, but generally I like to save more than half of what I make in a month. More if possible, but sometimes, expenses that come with property ownership, it sometimes can be very...
There's the key to success, saving half of what he makes a month. So few people can pull that off, but that's really why he's been so successful so far. Probably his brother too. Saving is everything. It gives you that cushion of security. Takes stress
Chad,
off you,
imagine that instead of paying rent and paying a mortgage and having your living space be a net drain on your finances, you were making $12,000 a month from land that you owned. You think you'd be able to figure out life then?
To know you've got that pillar, that foundation for when you start your own family. And when you're making this kind of income, $500,000 a year, you need structure. You have to optimize for your taxes. You need professionals to help you give you that guidance. But he's basically putting corporate entities in place so he can write off expenses inside of them because he's running a business. He's got all these properties. That's why it works. And getting and understanding this level of sophistication at an early age is very powerful for later in your career. He is an entrepreneur. It's highly unlikely that he's going to stay forever working as an employee because he's going to keep building up this portfolio of homes and become basically a landlord. I'm just speculating when I say that, but he's good enough to pull that off. So far, I don't see any mistakes being made yet, at all.
With the combined effort of my siblings and I, we were so fortunate to stay true to our mission of helping our parents and providing to them like they did to us. And so we were able to have them retire entirely, and they are now living close to us. What's theirs was ours growing up, and so now what's mine is I feel like is theirs.
In other words, mommy and daddy totally supported him and gave him the aspects of this money.
Doesn't really change my why. It just proves that when you have your reason and a really grounded mission, the sky is the limit.
Many cultures take care of their parents in older age. That's what he's doing with his brother. That's very, very noble. But to be able to do that, you've got to start working at a young age. And that's exactly what's happened here. We should do more of that in America too, because it gives you goals early on in life. Everything Sahil has done here is pretty well executed. I can't find a mistake in what he's done. The only thing I would be concerned about is if he had too much leverage on his houses, but he's probably smart enough to have fixed those mortgages so he knows what the monthly nut is, because you can get fixed rate mortgages in sort of 3 to 4% right now. But this is a flawless portfolio, incredible executional skills, great family values, and focus on savings. I'm giving him 100%. I rarely do that. Look, impressive. This kid got it right.
Start being a landlord at an early age by borrowing millions to buy apartments.
I don't give $100.
And then rent them out.
Never happens.
For way more than you're paying in mortgage and taxes.
Don't forget to
subscribe.
What a
genius!
To CNBC.
Chad, could you figure that out? Somebody gives you $10 million. Okay, here you go. $10 million. All right. Go buy 5 apartments, 5 apartment buildings, and rent them out for more than the mortgage and taxes and maintenance fees. Can you figure that out? Are you okay? Are you sure? Are you sure you're gonna? And then just sit on your fucking ass. You think you can do that?
Make it. And also check out CNBC Money Court. Yep.
This motherfucker needs to be fucking dealt with. He needs to be fucking dealt with. He needs to be dealt with, chat. He really needs to be dealt with. I don't know what to say other than that. He serves no function in society. None. 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 What should be happening is that those assets should be owned by the tenants. And you know how much they should be charged? How much it costs to maintain that property. And the taxes on the fair market value of it. That's it. That's fucking it. He's bloodletting the working class so some chump on TV could do a fluff piece about how great he is. He's a leech. Is that not a purpose? Oh, he's a huge fucking leech. His wife killed 2 people in a boating accident, somehow absolved of all charges. Got a big fat check. If this reminds me of a study done in Bangladesh, they gave single mothers a cow that were below the poverty line, and almost none of the recipients fell back into poverty later. Wow, what a surprise. You have an obligation to like, comment, and subscribe.